Becky, thanks for making time for us this morning. Obviously, devastating situation in Maui, and I know the Michigan Red Cross chapter is sending volunteers or has volunteers on the
Yes.
ground in Maui, but also a team that's working remotely from here to provide support as well. Just give everybody an update on what's going on.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. The Red Cross has 300 volunteers from across the country in Maui now, and 10 of those volunteers are from the Michigan region, and three of those are in Maui, and we have seven working remotely and virtually from here to help and provide needs virtually.
Yeah, kind of explain that because I think some information had gone out that you guys sent more folks actually to Maui than you did, but obviously the distance between there. What are the remote folks able to do in terms of providing support?
So we have caseworkers. I mean, we try to work as quickly as possible. Not only are there efforts to reunify family members who don't know where their families are at, we had over 2,000 phone calls of people looking for family members. We've been able to reunite 550 of those family members together. And so some of that, we can do that virtually by making those phone calls. We can't send out list of the folks who are in the shelters to save, to save the privacy, but we can work behind the scenes on that. Part of our disaster response is preparedness and then responding and recovery. And so our recovery caseworkers open cases for each family who's been had a home fire, which we're dealing with, you know, hundreds and hundreds of home fires. So with those, we have nurse practitioners who serve as volunteers who can then try to get them their eyeglasses, their prescriptions, and try to work behind the scenes to help the people who've lost everything get those type of needs. We also have caseworkers who are spiritual caseworkers, or we have professional medical and mental health caseworkers who help with the trauma. And so those types of caseworkers are working also behind the scenes and really to getting the information out there so we can get the financial assistance to the families who've been affected as quickly as possible. And we can do that virtually as well.
Have you heard from the folks who are actually boots on the ground in Maui? Clearly, we see the video and it's truly devastating. But when you're on the ground in one of these disasters, it's a totally different thing. What are they telling you?
Yeah, it's devastating and it's a very, very difficult deployment for any, even the most experienced volunteers who have been deployed. This is extremely difficult with the mass casualties and so much loss of life. And there's just so much hurting. So it's hard to get through, the phone lines are starting to reconnect, but it's very difficult. But we have heard from people who are just, talking about just providing as much care and comfort and just listening to the families who've lost literally everything and the things that can't be replaced, like photos and those heirlooms and those things that just nothing can replace those things. And so it's really about that and that we're hearing those stories come through. But it is difficult. We're hoping to get someone from our Michigan region to be able to call in and give us some live support and, maybe even an interview. But it's just hard because they're right now their primary focus is to help the people of Maui.
What can just everyday people do to, help the Red Cross, help the folks in Maui?
I mean, really, if the best thing we can do, honestly, is really that financial support is the quickest way we can get the basic needs to them by sheltering, food, and those supplies, the biggest need of those supplies like the prescriptions and eyewear and all that. So really even $10 can help. That provides a meal in the sheltering. And we're working with local authorities to move people from the shelters. We have currently 4 shelters open with the Red Cross volunteers working. We've provided over 5,000 emergency stays in those shelters, but we're trying to work with local legislators to get those people into hotels and really that financial support, getting the people the financial needs so they can start rebuilding. $5 can provide a blanket. And so it's, calling 1-800 Red Cross or redcross.org. And really it's the financial assistance that we can give them the most resources as quickly as possible.